screaming into the void. All right. And we're in, guys. All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast, episode 339, first of 2023.
Let's go, baby.
Matty Chymbor is back. It's been 2 years. I checked. 2 years.
That's been 2 years?
January 27, 2021. When they were back, that's two studios ago. They were in, we were in that office building.
That was in the office building.
Yeah.
That was a weird building.
Well, it was weird because there was one podcast room and then a bunch of lawyers and shit.
It was just marketing firms and Randy talking to himself in the fucking
Me
corner.
screaming in the little room.
2023, good. Set the tone.
I know. Are you a vision board guy? How long have you been in LA?
Oh, dude, this August coming up will be 13 years.
Oh, shit. So you're basically a local. So you must have a vision board in your
I have a
apartment.
vision wall.
Are you
I
serious?
have a vision house. Just pictures all over.
Pictures of homes that you want?
Just everything I need. No, I never do. You know what I start, because I'm very negative. I tried, not vision board, but I tried when I write every day, in a section, write 5 things you're grateful for. And I think it lasted 2 days. I can't do that. Isn't it weird?
I did it. I for a while there, especially when I got out of my, I used to be engaged a long time ago, way before comedy.
Jesus Christ.
I know, we can get into that. But I started going to therapy. He's like, keeping a journal helps. Because when I went to therapy, I was like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about my fucking mom for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean,
I want actionable things I can do to feel better.
You want to bop around.
Yeah, so he was like, he's like, well, keep a journal and, lists of gratitude. And I would do that. And I start to run out of shit pretty quick.
It feels.
I'm a pretty ungrateful guy, I guess.
It feels kind of weird to do. I mean, even if you're not running out of shit, it's like, I just felt like I was kissing my own ass.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that at all.
Which I'm like, and in my weird brain, you have to be hard on yourself to grow. So I was like, this seems detrimental for what I'm trying to do. It seems like I'm just going to
Positive encouragement is not.
It feels like it was just me putting my foot on the brake and slowly ending my career because I'm just like, I think I figured it out. My gratitude journal says I'm fucking killing it.
My gratitude says I'm killing the game.
Murdering it.
I don't know, man. Apparently it does help, but like I said, you run out of shit. Yeah. So I start being grateful for small things. I'm grateful for Pop-Tarts. After a while, because I was keeping a daily journal for 2 years, and I don't do that anymore. But it eventually you're like, how grateful can you be for your family? How many
if you're
times
grateful for Pop-Tarts, you have to,
You don't like Pop-Tarts?
Just kill yourself. Just fucking end it. There's no point of being grateful for Pop-Tarts. I feel like the idea of that feeling of writing something like that down, what I do, which gives me the same dopamine drip, is I do to-do lists, and I'll even put small things on it.
Okay.
So it's
so you're knocking shit off the list.
So you feel gratification for crossing something off versus me talking about myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'll literally put something where if I were to do I'm trying to start my podcast for the 30th time, but for example, rather than do podcasts, I'm trying to write set up podcasts, draft out episode. So little things building up just so I feel throughout the day, because what happened when I quit my job over the summer.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I feel like I wasn't doing anything, and I was fucking miserable because we go from work. I mean, you had a crazy job. I worked in construction. You'd go from just grinding all day to the point of exhaustion, and then when you quit, you're like, this is gonna be summer break, and I'm like, I just felt like I was just twiddling my thumbs all day. So I felt I needed to feel like I was doing something.
Okay.
And rather than writing down I'm happy to be home all day, I was like, I can't do that shit.
I don't know, man. People told me oh, you're gonna get bored, and I started picking up day work again recently. But I had 6 years where I didn't have to do shit, and I wasn't bored at all, dude. I filled my day with stuff. I mean, most of it was smoking weed and jerking off, but I filled my day with stuff.
Just jerking off.
Yeah, just 8 hours of jerking off. I have no skin on my dick.
Raw dick, just pink dick jerking off. I didn't hate it, but it was a step back because, I mean, it was a little over. It was new. I guess I didn't know what to expect, and I actually I started just. My old construction company reached out. They go, hey, do you want to run a couple projects? They're pretty short. And I was like, you know what? I'm not traveling I am, but I just got a few more dates, but it's they were like, dude, you can travel, you can do it. They basically painted this job description that is not real, where they're like, you don't have to come in whenever, you don't have to come in if you don't want to. You can travel whenever you want. they're paying me like basically what I made at my old fucking place. I mean, it's like the best deal, so I took it. But
Yeah, that's where I am right now. With I'm doing some day work consulting.
Really with
finance stuff. I'm building financial models again. I can't believe I'm doing it. I had a fucking panic attack over the.
Really?
Well, because I picked up the job like right before Christmas, like literally the 23rd. My old boss called me. He's like, "Hey, some deal came through. You want to do this?" And I'm like, "Well, I need the money, so sure." And then he sent me all the shit, like all the information.
It's weird when it comes.
I'm like,
back.
"Holy fuck! I don't know how to do any of this."
Yeah.
So I called him. I was like, "I don't know if I know how to do this anymore, man." He's like, "Just give it a shot." And I
You're a
gave
smart
it
guy.
a week. That's what he said, but I don't believe it.
That's funny. It is weird though, because like in my head, I'm like, when they gave me the offer, it was the same thing where I was like, "Oh, I got this shit," and then they actually send you and I was just like, "What did I do?"
I also don't even want to do it. It's like, ugh.
That's the thing how I feel. But then I started getting paid like regularly, and I was like, actually, I don't hate.
I don't mind that.
Feels pretty fuck. Feels good to spend money like an asshole again. It's literally like I got quitting your job. I got so financially responsible. I fucking, got my shit together, and then, but I still my end goal, going back to the vision board, all that shit. The goal is to not do that. It's just for now. I'm like, if somebody's gonna offer me basically, I'm like, I'm not gonna not fucking take it.
Yeah,
but
it's free money.
It's
well,
good.
not free, but it's money. The thing is, I think knowing that there's an end date to it.
Oh, 100%.
Like I got like this deal's like 6 weeks and I'm 2 in. So
That's great.
So like by mid-February, I'm not gonna have to talk to these people anymore.
Yeah,
so like call me up with the next fucking thing in a few months.
And then you can make the decision if you go back in. But it's good because it kind of gives you. I feel like when you're making money, it pauses the fear of like this going off the fire. I mean, at least for me, I was like, it gives me like a 2.5 month window to like do a fucking internal vision board of like, okay, and basically do an audit of how I was handling my day. And then like now when I quit again, I'm like, okay, let's fill that whole gap of not knowing what to do.
You
like
sort of reschedule that time
with like I was like, dude, even if you don't fucking try, I'm not trying to like be a TV show writer. I was like, write a fucking fake show, like do something where when you're not writing stand up or filming, just do something where you feel like you're working, whatever that means. So
what are you trying to fill your free time with now?
Dude, lately, I'm trying to like film more of my dumb videos. I mean,
Dude, those are 150,000+ now, huh?
It's crazy.
Dude, I mean, you fucking lapped me. I'm in trouble again with Instagram. I can't.
You are the fucking
which is
bad
crazy.
boy.
Like I don't understand what it is about my jokes that. I mean,
this is the part of the episode where you pull up some of your tweets where they're like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
And then you pull it up.
And a girl's like, guys don't get us. And you're like, you can get this cock, bitch. This guy's confused. Shut up. I like it though. And in my opinion, I feel like they should, rather than punishing you, like rank channels like, oh, this is like a rated R channel. Like put you in a category where it like they almost hold everybody to the same merit. You're like, that's not how TV works. That's not,
give me an R rating.
Bro,
like give me
your Instagram after dark. And that should still be honored. Just like
21 and older should be able to see that shit. They're adults.
Because I like all your shit. It's fucking funny. You write great. I got in trouble too, and it's like,
what'd you get in trouble for? Because your videos are great because they're kind of like your internal monologue, right?
I got in trouble for I was promoting a show in Washington. And that day I went to the doctor. I had to get one of my eyes dilated. I looked like a psychopath. So I took a picture in my car, and then I wrote Spokane this weekend. I'm on meth, and then and you know how you can like edit the link you're promoting.
Yeah,
I wrote meth sale, and they hit me for illegal
like you were peddling
selling drugs. Dude, it took away my bonuses.
Yeah, I can't bonus until the end of February 23rd. I come back off.
Dude, you want to hear the worst statistic about all this shit? From the day, little backstory. I made a decision. I started posting every day from August through like recently, basically up to that when I got in trouble, and I stopped because of like I had to like reassess what was going on. I had like big waves. But like the month before I got flagged for selling fake meth, I was gaining 500 followers a day. Jesus. And it would vary like up a little. But like, bro, the day I got flagged, it was the first time in 4 months I started losing followers every day.
Dude,
and it literally just dropped down. And then I was like, that's what fucking pissed me off. And I messaged them. I go, what are you doing? But
You can't get anybody on the phone. I tried calling somebody up over there.
Do you have the? I mean, these people have no clue what we're talking about. But the creators help thing, I can show you after.
You show me.
It's actually like a live chat with somebody.
Oh, really? Show me after because I am a creator. I have enough followers to I think anything over 10,000 you can like get in touch with those people.
They're fucking. It's AI, and you have to like bug the shit out of them to really like. When I was like, "Hey, I'm not selling it," they go, "Well, we looked into the issue, and it seems like." I'm like, did anyone look at what the fuck I did?
Well, that's the thing. The last thing I posted, they got flagged for nudity, but it was just a text joke about OnlyFans. There was no nudity on it.
I mean,
so it's like, well, how is that? But like, the same thing happened to me. I can't, dude. I've been stalled at 38,000 followers since last.
If they don't want you to grow, they
just shut me off.
Yeah, dude. If they don't want you to grow, like that's why now I'm trying to. And the shitty thing is, you have to wait like upwards of like 3 months for those things to come off your account. And the day they do, dude, you see like shit just ramping back up. But it's funny, Mandy, my girlfriend, she posted.
Was that public now?
We've been dating for like 2 years.
Well, I don't know.
Oh,
okay,
no.
I don't want to put your business on the street.
Yeah.
This is being
cut this out.
This is put on YouTube.
Yeah. She got flagged for nudity.
Hot. Can I see it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's me though.
Even better.
Yeah, even better. She posted a picture of, remember Waterboy, where that weird assistant coach who's, hey, he pulls his nipples out and he's she posted that picture and got flagged for nudity.
That's insane. A man's nipples are trouble.
A man's nipples got her like literally banned to the point of I think she couldn't do this and the other for a while.
That sucks, dude. I mean, the problem with it is like I've said this to a few comics, like. It's like a baseball game where the umpire isn't consistent about calling balls and strikes.
Right.
Like I like, all right, I know this does like, I'm not allowed to do this, and this. So I stopped doing that. I even like I'll fucking cross out some of the swear words in my jokes, knowing
That's crazy,
knowing that it might get me in trouble
because they're reading, they're scanning.
Yeah, so I'll cross those out. But like I said, I posted something that was a text joke and just said OnlyFans. There was no cursing in it, no nothing. But I got flagged for nudity. I guess because it said OnlyFans.
They hate OnlyFans.
I know, but that's how those girls promote their page.
Those girls, like, I mean, we know some comics who do it or whatever.
Plenty of them.
I mean, yeah, like those girls' accounts get shut down like regularly.
Oh my god.
I mean, I couldn't imagine like these girls too. They amass like hundreds of thousands of followers, and then one day they wake up and their account's just gone. I'm like. If I woke up tomorrow and my account was gone, I'm like, well, just quit comedy.
Yeah, that'd be ended.
I'm like, you literally just ended my career, and I would fucking just go back to working.
You call back your old boss?
Yeah. I'm like,
dude,
hey.
I want to know who the fuck are all these guys subscribing to OnlyFans?
That's so weird to me.
Because I've talked talked about OnlyFans before, but I still don't get the math. Like, because I've made jokes like I've joked on stage like OnlyFans is doing more to close the pay gap than anything else.
That's funny.
Yeah, because it's money from guys' hands right into girls' pockets.
100%.
But how I know like 10 girls making more than 30 grand a month, and I'm like, who the fuck is spending all this money on girl next door porn? Because it's not even like not all of it's even like hardcore porn. It's like some chick's feet. Sometimes a girl in a bikini and they're paying for this.
Right. It's psychological, bro. Meaning like they feel like they know the girl. They feel it's the same reason why there's regulars at Hooters and strip clubs and all this shit where I feel like they feel like they know them. They can talk to them. Like it's unlike like porn where these guys just go on and fucking crank it and put a comment on the bottom. Like these girls probably
that's who's paying for it. The guys who comment on porn are the guys who are paying for OnlyFans.
Because why? Because they're getting replied to on OnlyFans probably. Dude, it's like, did you watch that documentary Killer Sally on Netflix?
Not yet, but I will now.
Anyways, not to ruin it, but basically it's a murder thing.
Oh, is that the jacked up bitch? Yeah.
She got arrested for murder, and throughout the whole episode, they talked about how she would sell these videos and she would sell a service where she would basically wrestle nerds so they can like nut. They wouldn't always come though. But basically,
it was like their kink. They wanted to be manhandled by a big chick.
100%. And long story short, how she paid her bail was all these dudes donating to her. So it's the same
original OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's the original OnlyFans, and it's like that's why these guys like they can easily go get it, but I think it's a sense of like they must
that
feel
closeness,
like something to it.
Yeah, but the dirty secret about it is, and I know girls who do it. They hire a management company.
Who does?
The girls. So like, if you get big enough in OnlyFans, they'll just hire a management company. They'll go shoot content like 1 day a week.
And somebody just handles our account,
and they handle the account, and they do all the responses. So it's like some guy in India. It's like legit fucking customer service.
Sexting with a
guy in the Philippines. Yeah, like it's crazy.
Oh my God, I mean, look at all our peers. Like when you get big enough, half the big comics don't run their own shit.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that's the dream, is to have someone run my fucking Instagram.
I know.
So I could just, call somebody, hey, post this idea, and then just hang up the phone.
I mean, the only thing though, like for you and like kind of me though, it's like, I feel we come up with our own. The hardest part isn't me posting; it's me coming up with the content to post. So at that point, I'm like, well, I want the gratification to fucking post it. I mean, I'm not gonna let some douchebag who's like managing my account do it. I'm like, bitch, I just fucking slaved over this fucking video.
And you shoot them all yourself, right?
I do everything.
So you're just in there in your house with a tripod talking to yourself in the camera?
It's psychotic. There's times where bro, if you saw the B-roll, people would be like, you
must shoot a lot of shit that doesn't make. Because I write for everything every one joke I post on here, I've written 3.
Oh, dude,
you know what I'm saying? I just have a full litany of things I've never posted.
I try my absolute best to like. That's what and people are like. Let me finish. I try my absolute best to post everything that I shoot, but there are times where I'm like, I can't do that. But yeah, dude, there's B-roll where like I'll act something out and I'm like, I literally look in the camera, I'm like, that was so cringy. Like it's fucking, I'm uncomfortable by myself.
That's one of the things I'm really impressed with you about, because I feel like we're both cynical guys.
100%.
And I couldn't imagine like looking at me, like, because you act out all the stuff yourself on your post. I couldn't imagine watching myself act and then like editing something. I'm like, oh, what a loser I am.
Dude.
No one's going to like this. And I would just quit before I even got there.
Me and my girl, like, so I've always shot by myself. Like I'm not this like, you see people in like LA like shooting and like
that is crazy to me,
bro. Like you ever see people like filming sketches in public and you see the people behind them like looking? I'm like, you're a crazy person if you do that.
Yeah, at least you're in your apartment.
I'm in my apartment, bro. The funniest thing, everyone like sees me do the hallway bits. They go, have your neighbors ever come out? I go, if I hear a jiggle, I grab my tripod and I run.
You grab your little ring light, dude, and you go inside?
No, I don't need a ring light. I can't have too much shit. Okay. But like, I'll grab it and literally just dart in my door. So anyways, me and my girl started dating, and that was the first time I filmed in front of somebody. And I mean, I got over it, but it's still like super cringy. Like I won't film when she's with. I mean, I will every now and then, but yeah, dude, there's a lot of shit that I just don't fucking. I can't. But
have you gotten any like? You got like a manager and an agent now?
No. I mean,
because there's so much video, like so many clips of you that I imagine somebody must have seen. Like, hey, this guy's got some talent.
You know what I think? I had one guy DM me. I saw it in the request.
He just wanted dick pics. Though.
Yeah. He goes, manage this, and I go, what the fuck?
You asked for pictures of your feet for $200.
Yeah, dude, I would do it.
Oh, I would definitely do it. If you guys want to see my feet, I got nice man feet too.
My feet are absolutely disgusting. I have gross toes. I have hobbit's feet.
Some people are into that though. You know,
I want the people into it to also know how to cure it because it's fucking gross. Dude, no, you know what's crazy? You would think so, and honestly, if somebody told me 3-4 years ago, like, when you have X amount of followers, no one's going to reach out, I'd be like, you're fucking crazy. But like the only person I've ever had reach out was some guy who owns he's like the head of the commercial division of like an agency out here for like acting. But I'm like, I don't want to do commercial acting, so I don't give a shit. But as far as comedic managers, this one kid, he runs shows around town. I mean, and I don't really want to say his name, but he runs shows around town, and then he became a talent manager recently. So he's kind of like, hey, do you want me to submit you for JFL? Like, it's very like loose, but he's not my manager by any means. But to answer your question, fucking like no. Like,
so how are you booking all this shit that you're booking? You reaching out to the clubs yourself?
Luckily, when I would go open with Drew, I mean, like Boston, I know John Tobin, yeah. So I would email them. They get me that crap. All the other clubs I've done thus far are connections I've had because I opened with Drew. Okay. So I just know, or like I'm doing Atlanta next week. My buddies.
And you say they see you're growing your own following. Like, oh, we'll give him a night.
Yeah. What the fuck?
It's all right. You can pick it up. Is it your mom? Let's talk to mom.
Dude, sorry, I'm getting an Amazon package.
Nice. His dildo came in the mail. Which, by the way,
it's my protein powder.
Which, by the way, I do. Today is a very special day. On July 25th, 2020, right, the height of the pandemic, when we're all sitting around our fucking house, and I just started doing, my Instagram started blowing up, and I think I just crossed 10,000 followers. I posted that I just want to get Insta famous enough to sell sucking vibrators. And this week,
I saw that.
a sucking vibrator company has reached out to me, and it paid me money.
Good for you.
To sell sucking vibrators.
That's
so,
hilarious.
Mom, quit your job.
Yeah.
We made it.
This dick just bought you a house. I saw that. I almost wrote something on the post, but I was like, he's selling it. I don't want to fucking write it. It was the one in the shower.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a like a sort of a horizontal jackhammer.
Bro.
A pink horizontal jackhammer you could put on the wall in your shower and fuck yourself with.
You know the account, because I see her share stuff. Girls Think I'm Funny.
Yeah.
She's nice. She'll share my stuff. She always posts one where it's like this dildo holding like a cherry tomato. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
And I almost made a meme once where girls are like, guys can't get us off. They don't know what they're doing. And then I'm like, you fucking have this thing on your pussy for like 9 hours. Like, that's not fair.
That is a thing that's not fair. I will agree with that. Women, I feel like I would have to guess 90% of the sex toy industry is for women.
1 billion%.
You know, and I can't wait for them to make a good lifelike fuck robot, because then it's over for these bitches. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to take shit from your girlfriend anymore.
I mean,
once they have a real fuck bot that guys can get, you know, that are as good as a woman's vibrator is.
What would I mean, it's weird because like a women's vibrator, I don't know. I feel like I wonder if a guy's sex toy would be more of a visual thing versus a woman's where it's like literally just gadgets that.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. They have to come up with a full fuck robot,
like a thing.
Yeah, it has to be it has to be like a lifelike person, because you don't want a fucking disembodied vagina.
That's what I always. I have the joke. I go,
Jeffrey Dahmer fucking body parts. You know, like, it's a little weird.
I have a joke I talk about. I'm like, they have the full body or the torso. You're like, I'm not fucking a pillow with an ass on. You know, like that's weird. Like, girls are like, it's literally like fucking parts and buzzers. Like, but yeah, guys are very visual. But I totally agree. I'm like, I mean, you see trillions of like women's sex toys on like fucking Groupon. I mean, fucking all these meme. You're fucking
selling them.
Oh, I was gonna call you. I was gonna call you a traitor.
A traitor. There you go.
Because you're fucking. You know.
I mean, listen, for money, I'll sell out. We're in the business of being bought. Please buy my shit,
bro.
But no, but there's a thing about that too. Like think about the engine, because you're an engineer in ways, right? You went to Wentworth. There's fucking engineers out there just trying to figure out how to get women off.
It's insane.
I mean, like, they have whole fucking mathematicians.
There's a team of guys cock blocking other guys. Is that insane? That's like people who come up with diseases. You're ruining civilization right now because you fucking you're fucking have frequencies.
And I got to imagine, because they say porn is bad for guys, you know, you get desensitized to it. I got to imagine women using these sex toys. It makes sex unfulfilling for them, because like, oh, you can't lick my ass, vagina, and clit all at once. It's like, yeah, because I'm not a rope. I'm not a design machine to do that.
Well,
I only have one.
My argument with all that, I say it's like, and my ex-girlfriend, she would use it so much. I wrote a whole fucking bit about this. I was like, she would use it so much, her stamina was just so high. Like, that's the thing. If you ever jerk off a ton,
you just can't feel. You get desensitized.
So like with her, it was fucking like through the roof. I do this whole act out where I generally would try to use my hand. It'd be like 30 minutes and she's like, so close. I'm like, you're fucking lying. Like, bro, I would feel like knots in areas of my body that were, and then what pissed me off the most is she's like, I don't think I'm going to come. I'm like, you could have told me 20 minutes
After
ago.
all that bullshit.
Bro, I'm literally like,
you're breaking a sweat.
Bro, I have tendonitis because your vagina.
You're like a pitcher. You have the ice wrapped around your elbow afterward.
Bro, it would make me livid. I would be pouring sweat to the levels of like, this is like gym level sweat, like just drenched. But
it's also so complicated for them. Like, it's like the most complicated combination lock you could think of. For some women it's easier, but like, I feel like, it takes so much for them. Where it's just for us, just touch it,
dude. Ours is
touch it a little bit, and we'll be good.
Ours is literally just do this for 5 minutes, maybe. Theirs involves mental thinking processes. It's
you got to get the right smell in the room. You got to burn some fucking sage or whatever before she'll bust the nut.
That's why I don't make women come anymore. I'm done.
You stop trying. No. It's on you, lady.
That's a good thing about having a girlfriend. You know what works for them, and you're like, okay.
Well, that is, yeah. When you're dating someone for a long enough time, you kind of get into the groove of what you
I know the tricks.
And dude, I don't know. Do you like to go for like a long period of time?
I actually try to. I mean, it's fun. I'm not a guy. I don't want to like nut in the first position. So I'm like, I try to prolong it as long as I can.
Yeah, but I feel like sex lasting longer than 20 minutes is.
I mean, that's
too much.
That's a long time.
I'm talking about from the first kiss to when you're throwing her the towel. 20 minutes max. I got shit to do. She has shit to do. If she can't tell me what gets her off within 20 minutes, then it's on her. Yeah, it's on her.
I generally try to. And you hear women talk about this, and I'm proud of it. But like, I do try to get her off first because I know.
Oh yeah.
I know at the flip of a switch, I can bust a nut. So it's like I'd rather get you out of the way, and then we fuck around, do all the bullshit. But yeah, I mean, 20 minutes is like in my brain from first kiss to nut. I'm like, that was probably like 20 minutes, right? Like fucking 8.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
if you can get it done faster, the better. But I'm with you. I like getting them done first, and it's not because I do want them to have fun, but it's more so I maintain the moral high ground.
Oh,
like if she goes first, and I get what I want after that.
Oh, dude, she
has the right to bitch.
Yeah, dude,
it's literally just cutting out an argument. It's not because I want to pleasure her. I just want to hear her complain.
Dude, yeah. I want to know though. It's like, what is the percentage? Because like the way they make it seem like guys will just nut and walk away and not care. Like, what is the percentage of women that don't? But then there's, I'm going to stop that. Then there's girls who literally like will talk shit and they're like, I've never come ever. You're like, that's on you.
Yeah, that is totally your fault.
There are girls like ex's friends or whatever where they're like, they can't even nut with a sex toy. I'm like,
Jesus.
You're like, I mean, so now now there's those women out there who literally have never fucking. I mean, Tara Tomlinson just did a joke. She posted it on her Instagram. How I think she never even made her. Some guy made her come for the first time ever. Not even a fucking. And I hate to tell her joke on this thing, but it's
that's more of a all mental. That's got to be mental, I imagine, and not just Taylor, but women, men or women. Like, if there's if you don't orgasm regularly when you masturbate.
That's insane.
There's something going on. You have to go see a therapist because there's a mental block.
I mean,
you're having. I think
I get after after a while if you're just like, I'm over fucking porn or everything. Like, I mean, as long as you're nutting with somebody,
but to never come in your life.
I mean, and with a girl with a sex toy, I'm like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Did your ex-girlfriend whip out the sex toys while you were hooking up with her? The one that was taking forever. Would you ever like to get the toy? I'm going to bed.
Every now and no, and I'm a guy. I'm like, fucking pull that motherfucker out. Let's get this shit going. Like,
whatever you want.
I literally, I mean, it's like a funny thing. Like everyone goes like, fuck this. I'm like, get it going now.
Yeah.
Like I don't
warm yourself up for me. Yeah, I'll fit. Yeah, I'm the closer. Go ahead.
You get your.
Go ahead. Let that thing do the first 5 innings. I'll come close the game.
Yeah. The older I get, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. One time, you ever hook up with a girl and she's like, let's watch porn? I mean, I've never been more insulted and had such little eye contact in a fuck sesh in my life.
You're looking at the screen. She's looking at the screen.
I'm on top of her and she's like this, just staring at the TV. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
She's like,
what was she watching? 9 black guys and you're on top of her? I guess you don't want me.
It was not a keyword I picked. Let's put it that way. I was like, bro, when I say I stared at the side of her head for the whole time, it was like, what the fuck? It was funny.
Yeah, there's a little bit of humiliation in that. I feel like, I've humiliated women though, because I've been too drunk and passed out when they're hooking up with me. And you come to and they're sucking on a wet noodle. It's like, oh shit.
They're like, I think you're done. You're like, what?
So it's like, what happened? Oh, sorry, I passed out.
I mean, we've all been there. That's silly.
We've all been there.
That's silly. That's silly. I mean,
that's just fun stuff.
If you're doing that sober, you're fucking struggling though. That's fucked up.
I get it, man. Dude, I'll tell you this right now. Have you ever done this? You've been hooking up with a girl and you haven't come yet, and you're just like, I'm not gonna come, and I just tell her to stop. That throws him for a loop.
What are you drinking when you said that?
I've been drunk and I've not.
I've said this, and I even tell my girlfriend now. I'm like, if I drink, it takes like, if I'm sober, I can finish in this time frame. If I drink, it's actually there's no ending. It's more. Dude, it's like you fuck. Like when you're drinking, you can last like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like you're like, and there's a point where I'm like, I'm just not gonna. And it's not that I'm sure I could if we kept going for another 40 minutes, but I'm like, I'm not gonna come tonight.
But have you ever strategically said, I don't want to do?
If I'm wearing there's times where I was wearing a condom, I fake nut.
Yeah, I've faked an orgasm.
Yeah, I mean,
women think they're the only ones that have faked an orgasm. I've faked many an orgasm just to get out of the situation.
I'm theatrical too. whoa. She's like, let me see. I go, nope. She's like, you're still under the condom. I'm like, oh.
I'm theatrical too. Oh, you start screaming. Oh my God.
I do what they do to us.
Oh my God.
She's like staring at me like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, dude, guys have definitely faked orgasms. And I've also just, I mean, maybe, yeah, probably a little bit of a head game where, like, you know, I'm not going to give her the satisfaction of coming, so I'm just going to stop. Say, I'm done. She's like, what, you didn't come? I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like it.
It's not working tonight.
But yeah, it gets in women's heads because women are so used to us coming and them being the ones that struggle with it. So when the shoe's on the other foot, they're like, oh my God, am I not attractive? Is there something wrong with me?
It is.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, there is something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Your fucking attitude.
Yeah, bitch. What's up?
You know, maybe if you're a little kinder and a little less
Let's do the
self-centered.
thing they do with Patreon is do all the girls' names that you want to just get in their head about. All the girls that never made Randy come. Just fucking credits. What if Randy's never come?
I know, right?
You're like, yeah. I've never done it the psychological twist, but I've said I'm like, I mean, it is interesting though because it is flip flop. But
well, look, I feel like women give themselves too much credit because guys are so easy. You know, like
right?
You know, we will, like I said it 1,000 times, we'll date an absolute loser as long as she's hot. Our only requirement for a woman is that we're physically attracted. So we'll work with the rest.
Right.
Whereas women have so much higher demands, so many higher demands that it's nice every now and then to put the shoe on the other foot and be like, no, you got to earn. You got to earn my orgasm. I'm usually the layup, but not tonight, baby. You got to fucking work for it.
That's very true. And I think, I mean, there's times where you hook up with a more attractive girl and you're like, oh, they're actually like worse at sex than the unattractive girl.
Yes. I will take a thirsty 6 over a lazy 9 10 times out of 10.
100%.
10 times out of 10.
I mean, it's weird. Yeah. Cause you're like, oh, you've never done, I mean, I don't, or it's endearing where like, oh, you don't hook up a lot. Because then it's a flip side if you're like, oh, the other girl hooks up a ton, but I'm like, I'd rather, you know, have some.
Yeah, I don't believe that anymore. That's 2023. All these girls are sleeping around.
That is true.
I mean, like this idea that men are slutty and women aren't. It's like, come on, you know. And not that I'm slut shaming. It's just for whatever reason, women seem to get more of a pass nowadays.
Well, I agree with you though. I think
when they're the ones controlling access. I mean, let's be honest. If any girl over an 8 comes up to you and say, hey, I'll blow you in the parking lot right now, you're like, oh, fucking, I'm sorry, Randy, I'll cut this short. You run out, you know, like, whereas women get
Randy's
dick
like,
off
well, actually, we have
I have a homeless 8 in the
just a homeless 8.
There's no such thing as a homeless 8.
I wonder what you ever see they do that with like dude homeless guys where they're like, there's like a TikTok where they're like, give free haircuts to homeless guys. I love when they're attractive. People are like, help them out. Like, but then when they're not attractive,
well,
they're
that's another privilege out there. But you'll never see a female over a 5 who's homeless.
In my opinion, though, I think you wouldn't see that because first off, I do sympathize very much so with homeless people because I think it is a mental disorder that
Most
they're
of the
not.
time.
But you know, so my theory why you would never see a attractive homeless woman is because I think leading up to her being visible to the public, there was so much damage of whatever the fuck you know. But
well, there's also more pity for women. So you know, not only would if a woman's attractive, a guy will take her off the street, but you know if. You know, just all things being equal, if a man's homeless and a woman's homeless, people just have more pity. Just like the people have more pity for homeless children than they do for homeless adults.
That's very true.
And you know who they have the most pity for? You ever see a homeless person with a dog? I always feel worse for the dog than the human being that's watching.
I mean,
and that's says a lot about me. But I would imagine a lot of people in this country favor the dog over the homeless person.
Oh, I mean, if you've heard it, 100%. I'm shocked that they don't take the dog.
I'm supposed to have like an ASPCA for humans. You know, where you just go look at humans in a cage. Oh, we'll take that one home.
Jesus. Randy's buying humans. I'll take oh.
No, I'm not buying them. I'm adopting them.
Oh, that's even
rescuing.
You're sponsoring.
I'm rescuing a human being.
Right.
You know.
No, I've seen the homeless pet one. I know what
pet a homeless person.
The pet owner. Yeah. God, I fucking watch homeless people by my apartment.
What part of town you live in?
West Hollywood, right beyond the Laugh Factory. So I mean,
shit, you live right near, dude. I'm in West Hollywood now.
Where are you at?
I'll give my address. I'm on fucking Harper and Melrose.
What's your what is that here? Where's Harper?
It's 2 blocks from the Improv.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm like,
you know that pink wall where all the Asian people take their photos. That's where I live. Well, the Asian tourists take.
I feel like I always park right down there.
Yeah, that's a good parking spot.
Yeah, there was this. I watch homeless people by me. It's so crazy. There was one homeless guy. He was like our age. I mean, he was young. Like he looked normal. It was like it was a mind game. And I mean, I watched him like deteriorate from like being a normal kid. He'd fucking be eating like McDonald's in a bush. And then one day he moved closer to my place. And then one day he started limping. And then he had crutches. And then one day he just disappeared. And same with another woman. And there was like a little gap. There was a period in time, probably like 4 months ago, where like all these homeless people by me, like I swear to God, one day they were all just disappeared. I don't know if it was like the city
bust them out. Yeah,
dude, the city must pick them up at some point, or I mean, I don't know what
they shuffle them around like a deck of cards. I bet
they probably do, but
because they do that in Vegas. They're like Vegas will just like give their homeless a bus ticket to L.A.
That's
like a one way. Oh, they give them like a one-way bus ticket and $40.
That's insane.
So they just like get on the bus, come out here, buy whatever drugs.
Bro, I was on a Spirit
and then live under a bridge.
I was on a Spirit airline flight, and I generally don't hate it. I think their newer planes are pretty nice. They're better than like Southwest planes. But there was a guy in the seat, the row behind me. He was a homeless man. Like he was a legitimate homeless guy. I don't know how he got on the plane. He smelled like cigarettes. He had like that thing where they wear like 80 layers. And I was like, how the fuck is this guy on this plane right now?
I know, that's what wows me when they wear like the winter coat in the summer. They just wear all their belongings.
Dude.
I'm like, but they don't sweat. Those are the real survivors, homeless.
I feel real bad too. Like over the summer there was that span of like a heat wave.
Oh yeah, it was 120.
Bro, I'm dying in my I'm like we're driving to the beach. I'm like, this is unbearable. And then you drive by a liquor store. This guy's in a full snowsuit, and you're like, oh my god, like legitimate coat.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there, and you're like, I don't know how much that guy is sweating right now. It's fucked up.
I know. Thank God I'm not homeless yet. I'm working on it with comedy. If I'm a comedian for another 3 years, I might be homeless.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I have a theory on homeless people. The smart ones, I always say, and I'm not saying crazy in a rude way, but like more messed up in the brain.
Yeah, the mental issues.
The crazier ones are closer to the street, and the smarter ones are further back. Because you see homeless people, like I'll drive down Highland, and like up in the hills,
yes,
there's like a tent. I'm like, I would camp there.
Dude, I had this because I like to hike, and I'm like, why doesn't a homeless person hike up here in Fryman and go camp in the fucking woods? No one's gonna fuck with you. It's a half mile to Ventura Boulevard. You can go panhandle on Ventura.
Dude,
fucking.
You see the ones that are sitting on this with their feet on their feet in the street and their ass on the curb and their fucking pussies and dicks hanging out.
Yeah.
I always say the closer to the street, the fucking more.
Yeah.
And then the guys that are like, bro, I guarantee there's some people who are homeless. So it's a smart fucking like. He was a good, like, he was just a smart dude, and he's like, he just gets it, and he's like, no, I'm pretending to be a homeless person.
A little Ted Kaczynski.
Dude, he has a fucking like bank account with like 200,000. He has a generator in his, dude, this guy, like, there have to be homeless dudes like that, where they're like, I'm not homeless, I'm smarter than you.
Yeah, I just had to check you out early on this.
Dude,
on this,
he has
on
a
this
generator, a TV, fucking 9 guns under his tent.
Yeah.
Like,
somehow he has cell phone service.
Dude, I fucking bet $1 billion there's guys like that.
And I'm surprised they don't shower more. You know, like there's a lot of water fountains here in LA.
You know, it's funny. When I lived in Sherman Oaks, they shower with like, you know, spigots, and like they were building a new apartment building like right outside my bedroom window, and at like 4 a.m. I just hear like and like splashing, and they actually would like be there fucking showering. But I know you're saying like, I mean, legitimately showering.
They must smell. I mean, they must smell themselves. I guess you get a little nose blind after a while.
They don't. I've smelled like shit before, and I didn't smell it. You got to smell bad to smell. I mean, bro,
smell yourself.
I did a fucking commercial once, and I walked out at like they shot in this little Mexican restaurant, and I walked out, and I was like looking behind me, and as I turned my face to like towards the street, this homeless guy like walked right by. Bro, it is a smell that like. It's like like, you know, when they develop flavors in cooking.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't a first pass. This is like this is layers of like flavor,
feces and sweat,
dude. It's like,
you know,
it was like I've never smelled something and been concerned with myself. I mean, like usually like if a chemical I'm smelling, but I was like, that was the most potent fucking odor I've ever smelled.
I don't know, man.
But that's gonna be us, like you said.
I know. If I keep getting fucking in trouble on Instagram,
dude. I mean. Fuck Instagram, but it's like, isn't it shitty? Like how
do you guys do on TikTok?
They do fine. I mean, there was a moment where My beef with
I'm not on TikTok. I got to figure out what I got to do for that because I found my
yeah,
groove on Instagram, but I don't know what I would deliver on TikTok that they come to me for.
I'm trying to think because like your commentary's great. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but
I thought I did just do them live, like where I put the tweet on, and those did okay. But I just put the tweeting back, and I said instead of writing what I said, I just said what I said.
I think you need. I saw you did like a few of those though.
Yeah, I did a few. Like last year during the year before in the pandemic. Let me give this a shot. I did a handful of them. I was like, but I just didn't like TikTok.
TikTok for me, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same thing. My only issue with it, like, my end goal really is like, what is this platform doing for me as far as stand up goes? I don't know if people from TikTok go.
I don't think they come out the way they do on Instagram.
I mean,
I think one Instagram follower is worth 10 on TikTok. This is my opinion.
I think though, like if you have like Matt Rife has like 6 million, he just
well, that's such a big number.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You have to have so many. I actually though,
he's also a good looking guy, so that probably has nothing to do with his comedy. I mean, I'm sure he's funny. I know he's funny, but he is also a male model, so that helps.
When I headlined in San Diego Laugh Factory, though, this couple came up to me and they were from TikTok. So I was but you don't.
What do you mean they were from TikTok? Like they were users, or
they came out of the phone? No, no. They follow me on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
So when I promoted it on there, so now I'm actually trying to be better about. Rather than being like, fuck that. Because, like, whatever I post on Instagram, I just throw on all the platforms.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like I'm favoring one versus the other. There was a point in time where I actually didn't post to TikTok for a little bit because I was like, I don't give a shit. It's not making me any money. I mean, I get like $16. I think the most I made when I had a bunch of videos do really well, I made like a couple $100. But now I'm like, well, I might as well like just throw it up there and try. Yeah. You know, like, so I don't know. It's worth throwing. I treat TikTok like it's just like a sketchbook where I'm like, I almost don't care about it.
Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll just throw all these fucking.
You should
all this shit I already have.
You should make your TikTok where you make yourself post all the selfie ones.
Yeah,
and then I always say this: if you have a platform where you're experimenting and trying and finding new formats, this, that, and the other, and your Instagram is your pride and joy, even though it's so funny we hold Instagram up here, even though it's the worst to all of us at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No, it's a really good one, but I guess you still need the video. My Facebook has been great to me, like across the board, like followers, money-wise.
I got to get, dude, the reason I don't post all my shit to Facebook is my grandmother follows me. I have to block my grandmother on Facebook.
Yeah, just block her.
Yeah, I'm going to block her.
I mean,
sorry, Grandma.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cookie. I love you, but she wanted to come to one of my shows. I was doing shows in New York over the holidays. Mm-hmm. I was at Stand Up Live every night, or Stand Up New York every night. And my mom asked me, she's like, "Oh, what time are you on?" I'm like, "I don't know. It's the first show, 7:30." She's like, "How much are tickets?" I'm like, "Why?" "Oh, Cookie's asking." I'm like, I call my grandmother Cookie. And I said, she can't come.
Cookie.
I mean, I opened my opening joke. I think she's very Catholic, and I just shit on the Catholic Church. I was like, I don't think she wants to see me talk about how the Catholic priests are pedophiles. I think she already read that article in the news. And
my first show my family ever saw me in Connecticut, my mom cried. I wasn't like raunchy. She just.
What did she cry about?
I mean, her idea of comedy is like at a North Italian home club where they get some Italian dudes being like, "Oh, my wife makes me eat all these fucking meatballs."
Yeah.
Like
Shecky Green.
She thought it was gonna go on stage and be like, "My mom makes me eat so much food when I go." Like very like wholesome Disney Channel shit. Or like they don't like if you don't know what stand up is, you don't know what stand up is. Like,
well, my grandmother. I said my grandmother's used to fucking the Smothers Brothers. And I'm gonna come out there talking about my asshole.
It's
gonna be very jarring.
Yeah. So, anyways, I did a joke. I mean, about my grandmother. I mean, it was like. What I said, even my sister and like my family, they're like, "What are you crying for?" I think there was more to it. Like I think the fact that like they were all at a big table, and if I did a joke about her or her family, they all kind of like looked at her.
Oh, yeah.
And she's not like she doesn't want attention. So like I did one about where when my grandmother sneezed, she would scream. I did one about how my mom she would punish me with haircuts because she was a hairdresser. Like very like like dumb shit, but regardless. So like when family wants to go, bro, I'm like. I'd rather cancel the show.
I'm happy if my family goes. Just not my grandmother. My mother. The first time my mother saw me, my mother, my sister, my brother, and my nephew came, and he just turned 18, so he was just able to go to the show. It was at the Bridgeport Stress Factory.
Oh, nice.
And I did all, and because they were there, I was like, all right, I'm going to do the material that
You're talk about them. Randy.
And but I have a bunch of material about my family, and I did it, and they all laughed. They liked it. They were fine. So they follow me. They get it. But my grandmother's way more conservative than them. So she's
You
90,
owe it to
she's
Cookie.
92. I don't want her to.
Bro, you owe it to Cookie to let her hear.
I don't know. Maybe I'll do 5 minutes at our next family gathering of the 5 clean minutes that I have. I'll do all
your
5.
joke about choking on a Popeyes biscuit and see what she says. She just doesn't get it. She's like, it's fine.
She doesn't get it.
It's fun. It's funny. Like I want to have like, I had this weird fantasy of like going back to Connecticut and like doing a show. And
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, and then
I thought you were from Massachusetts.
No, I went to school in Massachusetts. I went to school in Boston.
Gotcha.
But I started out here, so I had this weird like.
That must have been wild. Starting in this fucking town.
It's just you're getting beat up constantly, and I'd argue I like starting out here because you're around good people, you're on lineups with good people, so you can see what good comedy is versus like starting back home where this guy's good and he actually sucks.
Yeah.
And
but the open mics here kind of stink.
well, that's the thing. So like in hindsight, if I were to write a book about starting in LA, is you have to be conscious of not building bad habits because actually. And it's to this
playing
day,
at the back of the room and that shit doesn't fly on the road.
Not even back of the room one, yes, but like for me, I wish I went back in time and said shock humor doesn't help you in the like. Luckily, shock humor works for comics and audiences, but I feel like it got my brain not looking at little like the nuances of things and why they're funny. I'm looking at like big picture, like fucking cock out or you know, which it when you can write a joke like with all that. It works, but it's like out here I built just like terrible habits over and like luckily when I would started featuring, I mean you started when you started going with like Jeff more, it's like you see the road, you're like the road is not LA.
No.
Like it is fucking your families. It's other families.
Yeah, it's the rest of the world.
Right.
It really this going on the road really makes you bulletproof in terms of how to write a joke that appeals to everybody.
Oh, dude, you have to be the most universal. Yeah. Like you have to have an old lady, a young kid, their dad.
Yeah, there are references you can't talk about Mexicans in certain towns because they don't have them. You know, like
it's just irrelevant.
There's references. Your references have to be on point.
Right.
You know,
but it's fun. Like the more you do it, the more you travel now. I mean, our joke catalog, it's funny when you're starting, you're like, how does somebody do that much time? And then you're like, we always think of jokes now. So it's like, it's almost fun. Like when you go to cities where you're like, oh, I get to pull that one out because they do have fucking Mexicans or whatever you fucking want to say. Like
Dominicans, that shit I do at home back in New York that I don't do here.
Right.
Dominicans in this town.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Anyways, I had this weird fantasy about like, going home and having this like great show, and I'm like, I don't even fucking give a shit anymore because none of them know. Like, I swear to God, back home, people thought I was funny, but it's like, it's not who I am on stage. So I'm like, I don't even know what it would be. If anything, it would be my internet followers, and it would be just more fun to be like, oh, this is where I'm from. But it's not like this homecoming where family and friends give a shit. Like, I think they do, but I don't think they give a I mean, honestly, they care about the videos more than the fucking stand-up.
Well, they're like, look at
because it's cool. They're like, oh, someone shared your video with us in a group chat, which I'm like, that's cool.
I'll get that. Yeah, like oh, you're famous because some meme account reposted me. That's like fame to them.
I know. They're like, my friend sent me your video in our group chat about at work, and I'm like, nice. I mean, I'm like happy it's happening, but you're also like,
have you gotten recognized on the street yet?
Well, yeah, dude. I got recognized. It happens like in little bursts here and there, but we're back in Florida right before Christmas, and me, my girl, and her dad were at some like little fucking chicken salad stand. And the manager recognized me and came over and was like, I love your videos. And
nice.
Like, it's fun when it's in like a setting.
Especially in front of your girl's dad. Like, see, I'm not a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Told you, this is going to work out for me.
Bro, that's the best thing. I mean, aside from, being able to do shows and like sell tickets, like the best thing about having more followers and like, it's not like when we had like nobody and people find out you do comedy and they're like, oh, you're another one of the fucking delusional.
Yeah, delusional.
Like it's finally like they look at you and like, oh shit, like you're
some
actually
validation.
Something. Yeah. So
for sure.
But I got recognized. I mean, it happens. So I think people just, at first it was weird because people were like, are you the guy from social media? And like, again, my like negative brain, I didn't want to like seem cocky being like, yeah. So I'd be like, I don't know, am I? And then it came off more rude.
Oh yeah.
So now I'm just like, oh yeah.
The first time when we got out of the pandemic is when I'm sure I'm not getting recognized much, but it happened to me a few times. And the first couple of times it happened to me, someone said, Randy. I turn around.
It's weird.
Who the fuck are you? Like, I immediately get like defensive. I curse at him. What the fuck do you want? Oh, sorry, man. I'm just a fan of your social media.
Hilarious.
I'm like, oh, sorry. So I had no.
It's crazy.
I would immediately assume they're trying to fuck with me. Like,
Yeah,
who the fuck
yeah.
are you? Like,
He was like, hey, you're like, just fucking swing at him. It's crazy. But the weirdest thing, I mean, it's like, it feels, there is like an imposter syndrome to all this shit. Like, thank God for social media. I've always been conscious of that since like day one of like, you need, like, because I opened for like Drew, like, who has a big following.
Yeah.
And I arguably, like, he was very funny, but like, he got to tour because he had a following who would buy tickets. And I'm like, that's what you have to do. I mean, but like, it's so weird to like go to a place and like, people buy tickets. It's not like I'm promoting tickets in the club selling them. Like, you actually go to a place and they're like, oh, you sold this many tickets. You're like,
that's cool. I haven't sold that many tickets yet, but
it's fucking weird. I mean,
can't
dude,
wait for that thing.
I mean, granted, I went to school there and it wasn't up, but like I sold out Knicks in Boston, which was
nice,
like,
dude.
so I sold,
awesome.
The first night I sold 80, which was like, I was like, that's
great. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I would. I don't think I'd sell 20.
Bro, the second night I sold 130.
Nice.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, granted, I mean, I beat that like achievement down sometimes because I'm like, oh, a friend bought
Dude,
a
it's like
friend.
sneeze that, man. For someone to spend 100 people to spend $20 to come see you, whatever it is. I mean, like that's meaningful. Like,
well, what I'm learning,
people don't fucking part with their money like that. You know, like
I know,
they don't fucking make a night of it. You know, spend their Saturday night with Matt Chymbor.
I know that's how I think because
like, who the fuck would want to see me? You know,
we look at comedy like, why would
I gotta
somebody
convince my
do
friends
this?
to hang out with me.
Yeah. I look at people in the crowd and go, why are you here right now? Like, I don't even want to be here.
Yeah.
But well, then I like. You want to beat down that achievement for those reasons. And also like you find out like, oh, your friend brought a friend who brought a friend. So you're like, oh, well, if they didn't come, I would have not. But like, you don't realize every city you go to, somebody knows somebody and they bring
go in
people.
groups.
Yeah, they go
people go out in
groups.
groups.
So,
So no one goes, I'm going alone to the show.
yeah. But that like, yeah, I mean, it makes you like grow up faster as a comic and like have that, like, I have to be universal mindset and shit. Like, so that's why lately I've been like writing like a motherfucker.
Well, that's what I mentioned is nerve-wracking, is that when you start headlining shows and start selling tickets, you see, oh, the first time you go to San Diego and you sold 150 tickets, great. Yeah, you come back next year, like, oh shit, I need a new hour because I don't want these people fucking walking in saying I heard this shit last year from Matt. Fuck off. Like,
I mean, it's
that's a whole other level of pressure that you know.
Dude, I mean, sell as many tickets, or sell more tickets, ideally. Have new, more, better material, like, and I like that. That's what I realized. Like, I operate in like fear. Like, I need like the fear of. I'm not like self motivated enough to be like I want to get good for myself. Like I joke, I'll think about shit and do it at shows. But like when you have like
a deadline puts the pressure on you to perform.
I fucking like I'm doing Atlanta next week, and I'm like
the punchline.
Yep.
Nice.
And but anyways, I was like, I've literally wrote the last like week and a half straight. I'm like, and I'm granted, I'm trying to carry that through. That was like my resolution, just to write every day.
Yeah.
But it's like having that fear of like, I have to go on stage. Cause like you go to these cities and like, bro, people shit on like some local comics. Some of them are fucking good. And they give local references and you're like,
oh yeah. Then they always have the local favorite who's a little hacky, but he knows all the tricks that work in Atlanta. Yeah. So they crush in Atlanta and you got to follow that guy.
So it's like, and you want to get good for your own personal reasons, but it's fun. I mean, it's like all this shit, like sometimes it's like weird where we're like, I want all the followers, I want to do this, and then you get it and you're like, oh boy, like
now I gotta do
now I gotta do the thing. Fuck.
Yeah, I just thought being famous was it.
That's like your boss, like, you want to do this job? You're like, yeah, and then he gives it to you. You're like, oh, I have to do this. Fuck.
Yeah, I was just gonna hand me the money.
Yeah.
I thought if I said yes, you give me the money, and then I fuck off.
I just show up and they're just laughing already, and I'm just like, yeah, bro.
I've joked about that before. It's like, I can't wait to be so famous I don't have to worry about being funny, because they will give a fucking pass. I mean, you know, there's a lot of famous people go on stage here in LA who aren't that funny, but they are famous, and they give them quite a pass for a little. The first 5 minutes anyway. They'll let them get away with some murder for 5 minutes.
You watch those people, like there's a wave, like they're not funny, but like they can ride a wave of people like being excited to see them.
Yes, exactly.
Like, I notice like when people go to watch somebody, you just got to have a joke cadence. You need to train them when it sounds like they should be loud. Yeah. Like if you just do like they just start, like you get them going. Like you're right. I think at the end of the day, you still have to be funny. But I mean, you can't go like, dude, I opened for I'll,
You don't have to name names. You tell me after.
Uh,
you open for somebody.
I opened for a guy who used to be, he was like about to be the next guy, and he got in trouble for a lot of nose candy and drinking and blah, blah, blah.
Sounds awesome. Definitely.
Very act out driven. Yeah, I know. You're like, how do I get that career? But anyways, he was just like fucked up to the point where like people are so excited to see him. Like he like would just like jump to these like crazy act outs and like very zigzaggy. Like when he would like slow down in the show or like the show where he wasn't like drunk yet, did awesome. And I'm a huge fan of his. But then like the show where he drank too much, you actually see like his diehard fans just kind of being like,
the fuck is this?
It's like hard to watch, but
yeah, it's a little heartbreking.
Yeah, I don't know.
How's the relationship? How long have you been going
We've been
at this now?
together for 2 years. We met the end of.
You must have known her for a while. She's a comic.
No,
too.
we just met.
Really?
Yeah, we met at Nightcap because she was like kind of helping Aaron out over there, and like I mean I do shows there. So what was it? The end of
Pandy Love.
20 was it the beginning of 2020? Yeah, basically end of 2020, beginning of 2021. We like met, and then we were hanging out for a minute, but like I mean it was great. It's like. In our profession, you can get what we call a normal girl or a comic, and like, I just think like for our weird lifestyles and like this sporadic, like I'm gonna go to Fresno tonight and do 20 minutes. Like you need a comic sometimes, like
who understands that.
And also it's fun now that I'm like doing road shit. Like I can bring her, so it's like. But yeah, we've been dating for 2 years. It's great. She's awesome. It's,
anything competitive at all? You guys ever get competitive about jokes?
No, like if anything,
you guys fight over who's funnier,
dude. Honestly,
we both agree it's me.
Yes, that was established day one. No,
she's hotter. I'm funnier. We'll go with that.
She goes, you can be funnier for a little bit. Well, unlike, I mean, I've dated a comic before where we tried writing together and it was just chaos. Actually, now, we don't argue ever, which is great. Like it's the first time I've ever had that.
Nice.
And it's good though, where we hold each other accountable to like just write every day. Yeah, like I tell her one of my ideas, she gives me a blank stare and vice versa. But it's like we realize like I'd rather just like if we're just in a room holding each other accountable just to write, that's a win right there.
Yeah.
Like I said, she'll help me film every now and then. I personally like to film by myself, but
are you guys moving in together? What's the deal here?
She basically lives in my place. I mean, right now I think
so you have the better place.
Yeah, I have a one.
Or you're just more convenient place.
No, convenient. Yeah, and
she's out east, right?
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, she has a studio that she's been at since she's moved out here. And during COVID, I was in a studio when I left living with my old roommates in Sherman Oaks to move to West Hollywood. I got a studio, and then over pandemic, everybody moved out. So I got basically what I paid for the studio. I got upgraded to a 1-bedroom.
That's why I moved from Studio City to West Hollywood because my rent stayed the same, but I got garage parking down there.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right,
So, my place is bigger, but like right now, like we haven't like formally moved in because it's like my place isn't big enough to have her bring all her stuff over.
Yeah, girls have a lot of shit.
A ton of shit. So, but also it's like she pays so little, and she also does a podcast. You'll see the studio, like her whole setup's fucking. It's like very like almost like. I mean, not like this because I'm
going to be doing his ladies podcast in a couple weeks, but I'm not going over there to do anything else.
I'll be in the closet.
I'll be in the closet filming for OnlyFans.
Yeah. You see a fucking eyeball following you. No, but I'm like, I almost rather her just keep her place one. I feel bad that she has to like pack and bring things over, but
you can sublet the shit. You guys can make a little scratch.
Well, what I was like, I haven't even told her this, but I was like, my idea is like, why don't you fucking. Like she has such nice like podcast equipment. I'm like, why don't you just like
use that as a studio, full-time studio?
Why don't we take your bed out of there?
I mean, they're charging a good penny for this fucking room for an hour. She can easily make her rent.
Oh, dude,
as studio time.
And it's like it's a little. I'm like, your kitchen's there. We move your bed. We put a fucking computer to control all that. So like that's my
both your podcast there. You move into your place.
That's what I'm saying. And it's
you can make money doing that.
And I'll fucking fund whatever we like. It could be, you'll see it. I'm like, if you go in there and looking at it, like if this was a podcast studio, you'd be like, oh, I can see this fucking working out great. So that's kind of like
I support that idea as long as I get a discount if I film there.
Yeah, we'll help you out.
Appreciate it.
Give you a Groupon. And it comes with one of those dildos that you put.
I have to sit on a Sibian while I record my podcast.
You need to test all the dildos that you. That should be your fucking thing. You just get the fucking model. No, but yeah, it's nice because it's like very. I don't want to say lax as far as like there's no. She basically lives with me. One, it's good. I think. I mean, I'm not gonna get rid of my place, dude. I fucking pay dirt cheap, and they include my utilities. So,
that's fucking huge.
Yeah, so
that's huge, dude. This is fun. What do you got coming up? What do you got to promote? We need, fuck the news. We'll wrap it there. We did an hour 10 already.
Oh wow, let's go.
Yeah, we flew right by.
How long do you typically do?
I do about an hour.
I have nothing else to do.
Yeah, I think Sebastian has somewhere to go.
Well, Sebastian, you're gonna fucking sit right there. No,
I tell the producer in this place every time to get themselves a mic, so when I talk to them, they can answer on the mic.
They should.
Next time,
I always
Sebastian, mic yourself.
I think that my theories on podcasts is when it's more dynamic and people hear more, like he doesn't have to always talk, but like hearing another voice, another opinion, like you feel like you're in the room. When it's like when it's a single person, it's boring until you have somebody laughing off camera.
Yes. But also, I don't like if I'm talking to him, I want him to respond and I want them to hear what he's saying.
Hear what he says, right?
You know, because I don't want the fucking echo of the room.
Right.
But
Mandy did one of my podcasts where I was recording it.
Yeah, you got a following now. You should have a fucking podcast, dude.
I'm generally, you'd be shocked how hard it is to still get views, but
oh no, it is. I'm dealing with this, but so it kind of
people are asking. It's actually flattering when people reach out and they're like, "Why aren't you doing it?" It's like, I was gonna film it today. I was gonna film it yesterday, and then I was gonna film it today, and I'm fucking.
People get annoyed with me if I have people on that I don't know well.
Oh, really?
Well, because it's just me now. Chase has his own podcast back in Boston. So.
Oh, Chase came to my show, by the way.
Nice.
I was gonna tell you that outside.
Nice. But yeah, but like, they like the camaraderie. You know, I mean, this is great because I know you. We don't have to. I don't have to like interview you about what the fuck was going on in your life and have you in the comedy and all that. So they get a little annoyed when I have new people on. They're like, oh, you know, because I got to give a backstory on them. I can't just get into, you know, tell me about your dad and, you know, what's it like fucking your girl, whatever, like whatever the stupid questions they ask, you know, the dumb shit I get into. They're like, oh, come on, just bring, you know, bring Jeff back on, bring fucking Joe Bartnick back, guys I had on a bunch, or bring so and so back on.
That's good when you and I think for stand up, like having a podcast, because they know you so well that when they hear your stand up, they'll make the connection.
Oh,
of like,
dude, when I was in DC, there was some people came to I did the DC Improv with Jeff, and there was some people who came out who knew me from my podcast.
Right.
And they were quoting shit back to me like, "Oh, you said this." I'm like, "What the fuck? When did I say that?"
Dude.
Oh, a couple of years ago on the podcast. I'm like, "What? How do you know that? How do you remember that?"
That's awesome.
I was like, "Oh, no, yeah." But it's a little jarring when they know more about my life than I thought. Like they know me more than I know them, and they're telling me about my life back to me. Like, I don't even know.
That's great though.
Yeah.
But you got to think like, because what we do on stage is like. You know, it's the highlight reel of our life plus fake shit or whatever, embellishments. But like, you want them to know you at every asset of like they want to know you through your fucking memes. They want to know you through your stand up. Like, so like,
I want them to take the ride with me. I want to get famous, and I want them to feel like they fucking had a hand in doing this.
That's how I feel. So like with my podcast too, like I'm like be funny, but I'm like I'm also. I like being just like talking truthfully. So then they know who I am when they watch my videos and this, that, and the other. But yeah, it's good. But anyways, plugging shit. I don't know, when does this come out?
This will be coming out on Wednesday, brother.
Wednesday.
This Wednesday. The 10th.
The 18th, Atlanta Punchline come out. It'll be fun. The 19th, Stardom, Alabama.
Alabama, baby. I love it.
It's been crazy. And then that weekend of Alabama, I'd rather you come the 19th, but I will be at the Stardom just featuring that weekend too if you want to go to that. And then the 28th, 29th, I'll be in San Diego.
Mic drop?
Mic drop.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And then I have like local stuff. But if you go to mattychymber.com, I just got a website and it feels cool to say like I actually put all my dates on there. And
I have someone working on mine. I've been slacking because my new job. I haven't had to just sit down with my web person. My fault, but I'll get you guys.
It's a good thing. I mean, I use the Wix, and it does take a minute to just.
And the podcast. When's the podcast? You gonna drop that soon?
I need to record an episode, but I have a.
I need to record episodes, but yes, I will be having podcast.
That'll be out soon. But I mean, I do videos every day, so
yeah, check them out. Matty Chymbor on Instagram, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, what do I got coming up? I am off for the month because I got work. Other than this,
get that money.
Other than this podcast and Molly Malone's 17th and 31st, my little local show, doing new material stuff. If you want to come check that out, Next road dates will be in February. I'll be in Chicago. I'll be in Milwaukee. I'll be in a bunch of places.
In Chicago.
Zanies, baby.
The downtown one? Or
we're doing one night in Rosemont and 2 nights in
I did
Zanies.
a one-nighter at the Chicago one.
The downtown one is... Jeff likes Rosemont more. I like downtown more.
Really?
I feel like the younger crowds get me, even though I'm an old man. I'm fucking 40, man.
You're 40?
I'll be 40 in a couple months.
Wow. Congratulations.
How old are you?
35.
You cunt.
I mean, it's the same thing. Late 30s is just the same.
I don't know, man. I'm not worried about it. I still have most of my hair.
Yeah, you're doing good.
I'm not too fat yet. But thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week. Got a bunch of fun guests coming in from the New Year. Audrey Stewart,
excited.
Jeff Dye's on again.
Oh, nice.
I like next time I have you back, I want to do an Ask Us Anything episode with you. I like to get questions from my followers because they ask some real wild shit.
Yeah.
I think you'll do well with
Let's
that.
go.
But check him out at Matty Chymbor on all platforms. Guys, subscribe, rate, review, all that shit. Tell your friends. Please like and share my stuff on Instagram because I'm under the fucking jail right now with them. But we love you guys. Thanks.
We don't know why though.
It's just my general sense of humor.
Yeah.
But we love you guys. That's it for this one. Peace.